think so, and we find it in a game. Magic the Gathering. All you need to play is a brain, a deck, and a friend.
I'm Randy Bueller, sitting with Brian Kibler, and we're in the home stretch of the quarterfinals of the 2004 Magic the Gathering World Championships. Gabriel Nassif double mulligan before Game 4 with his blue-white control deck, but he survived. Ayo Paquette also took one mulligan, didn't come out too fast, and Nassif, with a couple early purges, was able to stabilize, eventually put 6 4/4 Angel tokens into play, and sent his match to Game 5. Who do you like in this game?
I like Nassif.
You like Nassif?
He's cool.
Affinity's going first.
It's true.
Ayo Paquette has the fast deck that other Affinity decks have gone 0-2 in this quarterfinal, so we could have no Affinity in the semis
He
if Ayo
also
Paquette
has an
doesn't win this game.
orange jumpsuit on.
Orange, do you like the orange jumpsuit?
I mean, it's a contrast in styles here. All yellow versus all orange.
Some bold color choices.
And they're actually colors I can see, too, despite being colorblind.
Sure. Here we are. This is the booth Brian was telling you about. Nice little setup back here. Got the monitors. We get to watch everything. Got the Red Bull over there.
Empty Red Bull.
Are you actually
all
out now?
gone.
All gone?
Can someone airlift me some Red Bull, please?
Get the
Send in some
laptop.
choppers, drop it in.
Yeah, on the other side of the camera, you get a nice sort of metal wall with the window. We can look out over on the entire hall. What do you think of this site? It seems like a really cool site.
It's definitely really cool. It's neat that it's just down from the Fisherman's Wharf,
Right.
a short walk away.
The other side of this wall is actually San Francisco Bay, and Alcatraz is probably right over there. So
And
pretty
thankfully, no one was disqualified this weekend, so we didn't have to send anyone to Alcatraz.
what was that, Justin? So how did your worlds go?
Abysmal.
What did you play?
I played blue-white in standard and went 2 and 4.
Okay.
I drafted a very good deck and went 1 and 2, and drafted possibly the worst deck I've ever drafted in a pro level event and went 2 and 1.
All right.
And
But you were down at what, the 3 and
yeah, I was 3 and 6.
3 and 6
Three
table?
and-
Not the toughest table?
And then I had a mighty comeback to 9 and 7, and then lost my last 2 rounds to go 9 and 9.
Oh, nice.
So I played every single round and didn't even get the extra Pro Tour point.
Oof. 130 something?
I don't even want to think about it. Thanks for rubbing it in, though.
I think you were like the 4th highest finishing
mean,
American with that.
I could be Bill Stead.
What did he finish up?
1 and 612. I don't know.
No. He came back and did all right at the
actually,
end.
I believe, was it 5, 11, and 2?
Oh, meanwhile, Gabriel Nassif is mulliganing again. Going second against Affinity. I assume Paquette kept his draw. Is that right, Justin? Yeah, Paquette kept 7 cards, but Nassif had to mulligan. We'll find out where Bill Stead was. Got the standings here.
I believe he was 5, 11, and 2. If that adds up. It does. Yeah.
Oh, there you are, 164th. Right below Martin Juza of the Czech Republic, but right ahead of Dirk Babarowski.
Cool.
So you get that going for you. U.S. team member Ben Zaz, 185th.
He was the anchor.
Craig Temples was in top 8 contention for much of the weekend. He was
I
actually...
believe he went 1 and 5.
Yeah, he had a terrible day 3. He
an
came into
abysmal-
day 3. He was tied for 2nd, right? He was
Yeah.
one of the
And he just
X
fell apart.
10-2s. I can't fix this.
You got to go to the last page. Sorry. Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
You know what? I gotta give Bill
There
Stead some credit. Where? That's Ben Stark. There he is.
270.
274th, 17 points. So yeah, that's 5 wins and 2 draws. I gotta give Bill Stead credit though. He actually had a pretty good attitude about it the whole weekend.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he was trying his hardest. He felt like he was playing fine. He was catching some bad breaks. Things weren't working out for him. And Magic is like that sometimes. I mean, it was nice that I was sort of happy to see. A lot of people might have just been miserable. I mean, I'm not Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the attitude he had about it. It seemed appropriate. Like, I mean, he was disappointed and he felt bad, but at the same time, he was in reasonable spirits.
Jeez.
Yeah, I can't fathom losing 11 times in an event. I just
It's not that different
it
from
boggles
losing
my
9
mind.
times, is it?
Listen, it's 2 different, okay? 2's a big number. It's bigger than 1.
Okay. Meanwhile, Nassif is staring at his 6-card hand. He doesn't seem real happy with that hand either. Can you go to 5 drawing against Affinity?
I mean, sometimes you don't have a choice.
I guess not. Look at him slouched back in the chair. At least he's comfortable. That's not a comfortable look. Yeah, just shuffling his cards. Can't tell whether to keep it.
An agonizing decision, apparently.
I mean, with the world's title, possibly world title on the line.
Oh, absolutely.
If he loses this match, he gets Player of the Year by 1 point. Or 2 points.
Assuming
2 points. He'd win by 2 points over Nikolai.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Camille can't win Worlds,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it'll be Nikolai in second. Nassif says okay. Deep
Yeah.
sigh, leans forward, he says let's do it.
Yeah.
Down comes Disciple of the Vault and Welding Jar from AOK.
Go.
Did he just? Oh, I didn't see him play the cloud post. Did I
Yeah,
just
cloud
said go?
post,
Yeah.
1. You get 20, that's you get 19.
How many cards? 6.
Here comes
Ugh.
Arcbound Ravager to go with that Disciple
Yep.
and an Ornithopter.
That's gorgeous.
Nassif plucks a card quickly.
Go.
Island go. No white mana, so no purge is possible. He's got it mana, we can condescend mana though.
The issue right now isn't so much countering stuff.
Yeah, it's dealing with the stuff on the board.
Yeah.
So Paquette activates a Blink Moth Nexus. Looks like he's going to be smashing over with 1, 2, 3 power. Did he feed anything to Ravager yet?
He's not attack. Oh,
Yeah,
he is a
Okay.
Yeah, bring it.
Ornithopter comes in for 0.
0 you. Take that.
And he
Yeah.
feeds the Welding Jar to Ravager.
18.
So Nassif takes 1 from Disciple of the Vault, that drops him to 18, and then he's looking at 4 combat damage, which will drop him to 14 if he takes it.
I mean, he has to take it.
I agree, he's got nothing else he can do. Oh, Paquette might not be done.
That would deal 0.
He's thinking about feeding the Ornithopter to the Ravager as well.
Yeah.
And he does.
Yes.
So the Disciple
20,
damage takes
Nassif
Nassif
17.
to 17. 5 combat damage will take him to 12.
This is not looking good for Galen Lafitte. Not at all.
Yeah.
And, oh, another
You get 20,
another
that's
win. That's
16.
right.
6.
Takes. You get 20, Nassif 10.
God, Nassif looks
Yep.
miserable. I mean, more miserable than usual. It's a 4/4 Ravager that was 6 combat damage. Nassif's at 10? Yeah, Nassif's down to 10. That is not a happy man.
His hat was all yellow.
Go.
That their cloud coach.
Yep. Cloud Post go. So he'll only have one white. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Welding Jar. That's it. AO Paquette. Turn 4 kill with his Affinity deck. Gabriel Nassif never played a spell. Not one spell. He mulliganed to 6. Looks like he kept a bunch of mana and no
Sorry about
action.
that.
And AO Paquette through
No,
to
I
the
didn't.
semifinals. He'll be taking his Affinity deck up against Krark Clan Ironworks and Manuel Bavand. So that'll be an interesting matchup. Meanwhile, we have one quarterfinal match left. We'll try to get our cameras back to that back table, and we'll find out whether Terry So of Malaysia or Rio Ogura of Japan will round out the semifinals and take on the kid from the Netherlands, Julian Noughton, waiting for the winner of this match. There you're going to get a look at the back table. That is Rio Ogura on the left, Terry So on the right. Ogura's got 1 game so far. So has 2 games. So 2-1 lead for Terry So. If he wins this game, he's through to the semis. He's got a little breathing room. Got a nice crowd on the catwalk looking in. Try to get Justin to update us on what's going on in this game so far and what the life totals are. Hello, Justin? Tiger shirt from Rio Ogura. So is at 16 and Ogura is at 20. Meanwhile, what are the permanents that are in play? Silver Knight for Terry So, facing off against Goblin Charbelcher
Goo.
from Rio Ogura. A couple of Nexuses as well.
Is that Nexuses or Nexi?
I have no idea. What do you want it to be? We'll let you pick. I think it's Nexi.
I think it is.
All right, we'll go with Nexi. 2 Nexi and Charbelcher. That's a pretty good answer to Silver Knight. It's got to be good for Terry So, though, to have 6 land and a Silver Knight in play. He's still got 16 life. I see a Wrath of God on top of his graveyard. He wrathed away a bunch of goblins. He's got to be feeling pretty good about his chances here.
Those cobwebs on your screen are not in effect. They're actually there from the glacial pace of this game. I really wouldn't be surprised if it was actually So's turn and he's just sitting there deciding if he's going to say go.
Pyre89 saying, "Go Canada," in the message board forums. AO Paquette, the last North American standing.
He's still in the hunt for the Rookie of the Year.
And it's true. So is Julian Noughton.
How many points does
That could be
Mountain have?
That could be a
after the
fun
team
finals.
competition?
Where did the Netherlands finish? Top 8? I think he got 3 from that. He had
So
5
he
coming in.
still has
That's
to-
8. I think he needs. Pizet only got 3 points from France. I think Noughton would win with a 2nd place unless Paquette is the world champion. I mean, we could have a finals of Noughton versus AO Paquette where the winner, oh, by the way, wins Rookie of the Year.
Somehow I think that's not quite what they'll have in mind in the finals. If I win, I'll be Rookie of the Year. Yes. My dream come true.
I'm telling you, it is the most prestigious title in the game.
I think Grand Prix Toronto Champion is the most prestigious title in the game.
Grand Prix
Closely
Atlantis.
followed by Grand Prix Boston
No,
Champion.
Grand Prix Atlantis. Grand Prix
Such
Boston
a-
runner-ups, really. It's a different Boston. I lost a few.
It's true, you did. I was actually referring to Tom Swan as
Oh.
the holder of the Grand Prix Boston title.
Meanwhile, Rio Ogura plays a Goblin War Chief. Hasn't really activated that Charbelcher. We haven't got to see any.
Barbecue, barbecue.
What do you think of Camille and Gabe both going out in the quarters? Not many
Makes
people.
me sad.
Not many people predicted that. Oh, there's Eternal Witness for renewed faith. Terry So getting in better and better control of this game. Charbelcher's a little bit scary, but you have to excuse me if I'm a little jumpy. Every time I hear a cell phone ring within 20 feet of me, I have to reach for my pocket. My wife is at home and 9 months pregnant.
Oh.
Due a week from Monday, but if the cell phone rings, I'll keep looking for a new play-by-play guy. Keep waiting for people to start calling me just to watch me jump.
Yes.
Prospector comes down, as does Siege Gang Commander. It's a decent collection of goblins. Rio Ogura keeps building his board up. Will the Lucky Tiger shirt be enough?
Well,
Eternal Witness is going to block somebody, I'm sure. I'm not sure. I could have a slide ready. Alright. Yeah, Witness blocks Siege Gang Commander.
fine choice.
Then he goes down. Go.
So falls to 11 from that attack phase. Ogura still at 18. Time to sweep the board. What do you think?
And Zeren Ruins named Goblin.
That'd be pretty good.
Perhaps Magnetic Mountain.
But it's Anzer and Ruins and card for it. It's not so.
Is Silver Knight just a knight or is it a human knight?
It's from Onslaught. That was before we introduced Titan.
Solemn Simulacrum.
And Jens Turen makes his first appearance in the top league of this world. Jens' invitational card.
See, huh?
Bob Maher's invitational card will be in next year's standalone.
Any word on its status?
It'll be, he submitted a BB21 that's at the beginning of your turn.
Oh yeah, the one that's absurd.
Yeah, the one that's absurd. It may require a little development. The idea is you flip over the top card of your library and you can pay life equal to its casting cost to put it in your hand. I think if it's mandatory, it's not clearly absurd.
Then you certainly do not play with Devouring Strossus in the same deck as that.
True. Yeah, I haven't actually had it in play yet myself. We'll test it up, get it ready for control. I think Bob actually dawdled in getting it in because he wanted to be in control rather than Saviors of Kamigawa, figuring that the rares from the big set tend to cost more since they're harder to collect. He wanted to be worth more money, so he wanted to be in a big set. It's fishy. I don't know. It wouldn't give us a card until it was too late to get it into Saviors. It's just my theory.
Maybe he didn't want to be featured in a kimono. All the art I've seen from Kamigawa block looks amazing.
Yeah, it turned out really well. We're quite happy with it.
Time Stop is crazy.
Isn't that awesome?
That's like the coolest card in the history of cards, other than Rift.
Somebody just yell bingo?
Yeah, I'm sure.
The thing was, if he was in Saviors, we would have had to make him a legend.
It's true.
Nobody's been a legend yet. But every rare creature in Kamigawa is a legend.
Really?
Yeah, every rare
Dear
creature is a legend.
me.
Would have been the great one. That'll teach him to dog.
That would have actually been awesome if
His card
his
name.
card would have actually just been the Great One. You know, something the Great One. What phase is this?
I believe it is main phase 1 for Rio Ogura. Terry So played Solemn Simulacrum, decided to just sit behind it. Got a
What a
couple
guy.
blockers. So Sparksmith comes down. And Ogura points it at Solemn Simulacrum.
Taking 6
He's
damage.
willing to take 6 in order to clear a blocker out of the way. Terry So nods.
Did he draw his card?
12.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yep.
It was an end 12.
So draws a card. Ogura's down to 12 now.
As a man.
Add a mana
Goo.
for Click Slither. And smashy. Everybody goes charging into the red zone.
That's probably lethal.
We know he has Renewed Faith in his hand because he got it back from the Eternal Witness. I don't think he's cast that yet.
Maybe I'm just hoping it's lethal.
It's a lot. Silver Knight steps in front of the War Chief. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. Okay, 8, 9. 9 damage, and he can feed tokens to the Click Slither to do a little bit more. We said So's at 11. So if he feeds 2 tokens, he forces the Renewed Faith. One token, 2 tokens. So 3 tokens, 12 damage.
How big is this?
11 million.
11 Click Slither and a Skirk Prospector. Oh, looks like we're going for 12 Click Slither.
So it's 13.
Or no, it's bigger than that. How big is that?
How does it? It's gigantic.
And he does indeed force Terry So to hard cast Renewed Faith.
Gains a slack. 6. Yeah, sure.
So gains 6. That takes him up to 17 ever so briefly. And then Click Slither smash.
4 down to 4.
Drops Terry So down to 4.
Go.
Terry So 4, Rio Ogura 12. So untaps, draws. Cycles a Tusker.
I wish he'd played that Tusker.
Haha.
It's so big.
It's not a small man.
Two hits and it would kill Ogura. So what's the schedule for the rest of the day? When's the team finals?
Right after lunch.
After lunch? When's lunch?
Right after the semis.
When's the semi?
Right after this match.
Uh-huh. Tricky that. hope the concession stand refilled on Red Bull. They didn't have any yesterday. Actually, I mean Friday.
Did he just cycle another Tusker? Yeah, cycles 2 Tuskers. That's not the most exciting main phase. And he cycles a secluded step. Terry So kind of in desperation mode here. He's down to 4. He's facing down a Click Slither and a Charbelcher. Does have Silver Knight. And there's 2 Blinkmoth Next Eye on the other side too, so... 3 mana? Eternal Witness. Gets back. What do you think? Renewed Faith? Witness. Witness for Witness. Figure next turn I'll have plenty of mana, so it's not bad. Ogura untaps and draws. Stares over.
The judge steals So's hand.
Charbelcher's just been hanging out. We haven't seen it activated yet.
Barbecue, barbecue. And apparently, the game just ended.
What happened? Charbelcher dealt the 4. Ball game.
Barbecue.
I turn my head away and Goblin Charbelcher deals the lethal damage. Flip, flip. Helps when you got mountains to double it. Rio Ogura has sent us through to game number 5. Terry So just had nothing. I mean, he had plenty of time. Silver Knight bought him all the time you'd think he'd need to set up, slide, rift, something. Couldn't come up with anything. Couple renewed fates, witnesses for the fates, cycled Tusker, but no real business spells, and Silver Knight can't do it alone.
What he needed was Sundering Kite out of his side.
I doubt he brought that in this game.
It's so big, though. And it's banned in Prismatic.
It is. One more game left in these quarterfinals.
That pile shuffling is so rhythmic, it's actually about to put me to sleep. That and a lack of Red Bull. I wonder if I just did an IV up here with the Red Bull.
So I thought that this match clearly favored Terry, so I'm actually surprised we're going to game 5.
It certainly looks like it on paper. Although the barbecue is quite dangerous, as is the vortex.
Kind of curious to talk to our spotter on the floor and see what the mood is down there. Can we turn Justin's mic on and see what it's like down there on the floor? All right, Justin, how's it going down there?
Well, there's a decent crowd here hovering around the last match. Everybody looked... Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a decent crowd here, but I gotta say, the prominent mood around here seems to be tired.
Is that right?
Everybody's sort of like leaning over the rails, and it's, these games have been progressing pretty slowly, so there's, it's a lot of excitement at being Game 5, but it's about as...
everyone in the audience looks thrilled.
Yeah, you got you.
Bunch of the Japanese players there rooting for their boy.
Itaru was smiling.
Did we just see that?
Yes.
You're right. That was an Itaru Ishida smile. Oh, he's off.
I'm shocked.
I am too. Always a healthy Japanese contingent showing up for these events. And they keep putting people through to the top 8. It's pretty impressive. They almost were in the finals of the team competition too. They were playing for it in the last round yesterday. I actually feel pretty bad for Tsuyoshi Fujita this weekend. He was playing for the individual top 8 in the last round on Friday. Came up short. Then he was playing for the finals of the team competition on Saturday. Came up short. Last round both times.
Yeah,
It's kind of rough to play for Sunday twice in the same weekend and go 0 for 2.
I feel terrible for him, let me tell you. He got 12th and, 4th or something. Horrible, horrible.
Thousands of dollars.
Poor him. And so is Mulligan.
Oof. Maybe it's the shirt. Maybe the Tiger's got some luck left in it.
I mean, it's a tiger. Is this the second mulligan? So is going to 5.
Oh, So took the forbidden look after his first mulligan. He had a one-land hand with 7 cards, and he mulliganed it, which is what you're supposed to do. But what you're not necessarily supposed to do is peek at the top. You just don't want to know. You're better off not knowing. What Terry So saw when he peeked at the top was land sitting on top of his library. So that 7-card draw would have worked out just fine, randomly. But instead, down to 5. And Ogura's got the same problem. Likes part of his draw, but...
And he peaked as well.
Too many lands.
4 rounds.
4 lands.
2 spectre. 1 set.
It's exactly the same thing. Ogura had an all-land hand. You got to cash those in. That's actually a mistake that a lot of people make. If you got 5 lands in a beatdown deck, you probably have to mulligan there. And Ogura sounds like he did the right thing with a mulligan, but then he took the peek, and it was guy on top of his library. He winds up disappointed. You don't want to know. It's not like you're going to learn whether it was the right decision or the wrong decision by which cards randomly happen to be on top of your library.
If you do that sort of thing, you end up like Gerard Fabiano and predict yourself naming Roar of the Worm. Just because you had a feeling. You thought it would be there. Seemed due.
So another reminder to those of you watching the webcast, we will be taking the stream down after the quarterfinals in order to resize some stuff and try to work out some of our technical glitches, try to get everybody else on that wants to watch. Meanwhile, you will have to restart your browser in order to get coverage of the semifinals. So after this game, the web stream will come down, but it'll go right back up again. Just go restart it, and it should still work for you just fine. Last game, one game to determine who takes on... I've lost the bracket.
Julian, I believe?
Yes, who takes on Julian Naughton in the semifinals. Naughton?
Naughton.
Sletter gets his beat on, and Pile Driver comes down on turn 2. Decent start for Ogura. Just a couple lands so far from Terry So.
$7,000 damage.
War Chief?
Yep.
Yes, there's the War Chief. Smash. 5, 6, 7, 8 damage.
So
So's
really,
down to 12 or 11.
Basically has to wrap it.
Yeah, So's down to 11. Wrath of God. There's the 4th land. Yes. Wrath of God. That's exactly what Terry So needed. 3 for 1's his opponent. How much gas you got left in that 6-card hand, Rio Ogura?
Slither. No. War Chief. Oh,
Incinerator and a Sledder.
That's a prospect.
Oh, sorry, Prospect. Incinerator, Prospector. 3 power, 2 creatures.
Slice and dice would be a brutal beating.
That's
idea.
true. Ogura serves. 3 damage. So falls to 8. And Arcslogger. Hello.
Talk about a big game.
That's ball game if he gets to untap, right?
Yeah, those 700 points of damage.
Terry So needs an answer right now. He's at 8. There's 40 cards left in Rio Ogura's library. Oh, that's a little scary with Renewed Faith, I guess.
I mean, he gets to attack as well.
Yeah, this looks like it'll do it. Terry So, unless Terry So has an answer. Well, he's got land number 6.
That's
1, 2, 3.
Wait.
Eternal Witness for Wrath of God. Wow.
This has got to be game, right? He just shoots the witness. I mean,
Shoot the Witness attack. He needs Renewed Faith. Ogura does indeed shoot the Witness. Renewed Faith or no. Terry So needs a Renewed Faith, or Rio Ogura will take his Tiger shirt through to the semifinals, trying to finish what his mentor, Jin Okamoto, could not do last year. There's
There
the
it is.
hand. Terry So extends the hand, and Rio Ogura takes the nation of Japan through to the semifinals, trying to finish what they could not finish last year. Wow, quite a quarterfinal matchup. We're going to take a couple minutes, set our tables up for the semifinals. Meanwhile, we're going to take the webcast down. We'll be right back. 5 minutes, we'll have the webcast back up and running, and we will see you for the semifinals. So stay tuned.
see you soon.
All week long, we've been bringing you exciting match coverage from the 2004 World Championships and the Magic the Gathering tournament. Now, there's an incredible amount of excitement in the coverage we've done so far, but you can't really get an idea of the scope of the Magic the Gathering World Championships unless you're actually here. And we're going to take you inside right now. We're here at the Magic the Gathering Art Gallery. Here we've got the original pieces of some of Magic's oldest cards, all laid out for everyone to see. Black Lotus, the original Alpha Island, Time Walk, you name it, it's here. On top of that, we've got a huge dragon being built all weekend. We'll have more coverage of this later. Huge lines here in front of the artists' signings. We've got Chris Rush, we've got Scott Fisher, all of the top artists here to sign your favorite cards, selling original pieces, and of course the wonderful 3D art. This is the only place in the world now where you're able to see the incredible 3D art that we've been featuring here. Putting together Magic cards like you've never seen them before, flown out to Worlds, being auctioned off for the first time ever. Want to play against some of Magic's greatest? Some of the luminaries are playing out in the gunslinging section. Mark Rosewater, Richard Garfield, you name it, they're here to play against you, and if you beat them, you win cards. Live Magic's not enough for you? We've got MagicTheGathering.com terminals you can play against people at home, tell your friends, it's all here. Any kind of Magic you want, you can get it. This is what it's all about here, the World's Championships trophies. All the awards being given out this weekend are on display, and see whose name's going to be added, which countries are going to be added to the World Championship titles. Lifetime winnings list, Player of the Year list. This looks like all the best players in the game, and they're all here. Oh, look at that. Some of them are here. Side events running 24 hours a day, all week long. Every kind of Magic you can think of. Players from all over the world flock to San Francisco to get this kind of competition. Anybody can play. You can't get this anywhere. The Giant Tower of Money. This is all of the prizes that have been giving out on the Pro Tour since year one. I wish I'd gotten more of a share of that, but a lot of it's going to be given away this weekend to the world champion and the other competitors. And here we are at the main event. It's Saturday, the team competition day, so we're seeing all of the national teams competing in their Rochester draft format. After they finish drafting, they'll go back, build the decks, and play against each other. They're vying to get to the final two to play on Sunday. the feature match area. This is where the most exciting matches are highlighted, and this is where the finals will be played on Sunday. Nobody's here now, but when you see players here, there's huge crowds of Magic players from all around watching to see how their favorites do. Technically, you're not supposed to be here. But this is the event coverage room. This is where all of the MagicTheGathering.com coverage gets put together. And we're back at the Magic the Gathering World Championships. Now, I can attest to you from personal experience, playing in these tournaments can be a long, grueling experience. And what better way to relax from a long day of playing Magic than to have a shot at Magic Online? Well, that's what all these pros are doing here. At this new setup, we have 4 terminals where people can play Magic Online. So, for those of you at home watching this webcast, sign on to Magic Online and start playing. You might be playing against a future world champion. This is Justin Gary here at the closing rounds of Day 3 of the Magic the Gathering World Championships. Do not adjust your monitor. You are not seeing double. I have here the world champion, reigning world champion Daniel Zink and his brother Sebastian Zink. Now, Sebastian is not only a member of the German national team, he's also in close contention for the top 8 this year. In fact, both of them are. How are you guys doing now?
Well, I just lost the last round, but if I win out, I'll be in. So I'm feeling confident still.
And how about you?
Yeah, after losing to my brother 2 rounds ago, I also lost the last round, unfortunately, and now I'm out of contention, but I'll do my best to finish in the top 16 or top 32.
So the true mirror match, I gotta say, I have a lot of rivalries with my brother. What was that like, playing in the World Championships against your twin brother?
Well, it was pretty intense, but, well, if the one guy wins, the other can still make it, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Which of you won?
Sebastian won.
So he seems a little more upbeat about this than you did. All right, well, so you guys, you're going to be rooting him on. You're going to be rooting to make the money here. You think you can do it?
Not sure.
All right, well, we're going to keep an eye on both of them as the progression goes on to the top 8. Hey, we're back. This is Justin Gary. I'm here with Scott Larrabee, the DCI program manager, and we are standing in front of a giant tower of money. Scott, could you explain to us what this giant tower of money is?
I can. This is a visual representation of all the money we've given away since 1996 when the Pro Tour started. So you can see down the side here, it's kind of like a thermometer. Like in 96, we gave away $1,043,000, and then in 97, we gave away, it's a progressive total of what we've given away. When you get up to the top, by the end of the year, we'll have given away about over $21 million, almost $22 million.
$22 million. And how exactly did you find out all of this information?
Well, I've spent the last 4 weeks researching it. So we've got we've got databases of what we paid the money out of, and that said who we paid it to and what the breakdown were. I consulted old sideboard magazines for stuff. Some of the interesting stories were, remembering that we ran a Team Pro Challenge at Pro Tour Atlanta back in September of '96, and we ran the Type 1 Pro Tour in Dallas. And nobody had remembered those, and they weren't in any lists of anything, and I was at them and remembered them, so I had to research them by getting some old magazines and finding the dollar amounts. So a couple of the other ones where we ran the Team Challenge and the Draft Challenge for the ESPN shows, where we gave away a little bit of money before the Masters Series, and those weren't listed anywhere either. So I had to find those and figure out who we paid and how much, and then researching the Masters money and all the Grand Prix and how much we paid, and all the national championships and how much we paid, and Pro Tour qualifier money. I mean, we're actually still doing some research. This is we're still working on the final totals, but this is a pretty good representation.
So I noticed that you're giving away more and more and more each year. Do you expect that trend to continue?
We're going to give away, by the end of this year, we'll have given away a little over $3 million, and next year we'll be at about the same level, about $3 million a year.
Well, that's pretty exciting. I'm just going to kind of stand here and admire this money for a while, and we'll get more from World Championships later. Hi, I'm here with Mark Rosewater, who's one of the Wizards of the Coast celebrities that's been gunslinging here for everyone that wants to play against them. So, Mark, how's your experience been here at Worlds?
I'm having a great time. My gunslinging record is not that good. I finally won a game after playing many of them.
Well, you're up on Bill Stead right now, so you should be happy.
That's good. I did get a hard cast of Colossus and attack for 11, so that made me happy.
All right.
So a little bit about Kamigawa.
Yeah.
Champions of Kamigawa. I think the most important thing about this set is from a design standpoint, we've done something a little different than we've done before. Last couple of years, we did a lot of themes built around mechanics. You know, it's the multicolor set, it's the graveyard set, it's the artifact set. So this year, what we've done is we've taken a theme that's a flavor theme. We took Japan as Japanese mythology as an inspiration, and we really crafted the entire set around it. Not just the pictures and the names, but the mechanics themselves. For example, there's a war with spirits, so there's a very strong presence of spirits and a lot of mechanics that interact with spirits. There's a strong legend theme that's going on. The champions of Kamigawa have come out, and so like all the rare creatures are legends to play into the fact that there's this great war of these great champions coming out. There's a certain kind of magic that's